Hi friends and happy NaNoWriMo 2022. What a wild and weird thing to say. I figured during this portion of the video I would kind of just talk to you about some things since I didn't do a lot of face-to-face speaking this entire video, if any. I don't think I did any actually. But yeah, I just figured we would kind of catch up with each other. Last time I spoke to you guys, it was September actually, and I was trying to finish a rough draft of another series, and I was trying to write probably about 30 or 40,000 words in a month to prepare for Preptober, which was October, and that did not work. Some life things happened, I got sick, and needless to say, I kind of just put that draft on the back burner. During October, I went up to Massachusetts for a little vacation. That vacation ended up with a lot of stress. So afterwards, I was kind of mentally, financially, physically recovering from what transpired. And then I just blinked, and it was 2 weeks before NaNoWriMo started. And I had a lot of plans and aspirations and goals, as we all do. But I think that it was just a lot of different things overwhelming me, and I ended up not being as productive as I would have liked. But I did film some clips of me kind of getting this space in order, which I will share if I haven't already, because I wanted no distractions. I just wanted to kind of have a little writing sanctuary where I can just come in and focus on writing and have that be that. Because I have a main desk out in my living room, but obviously I have 3 cats and I have a dog, and they can be quite a lot. They're all demanding of my attention, which is a beautiful thing, and I'm so grateful for them. They are my entire world. But it is definitely hard to focus and to write when I have 3 cats using me as a jungle gym. So I wanted to kind of have a little space in my room where I could just kind of go and laser in and focus and kind of get away when I need to. I don't think this is going to be a permanent setup for no other reason than I have a very powerful computer out in my living room, so I like using that as opposed to a desk because I have pretty bad vision, and it's just nice to have like the dual monitors and things like that. But we're just kind of trialing this out for now. But yeah, what you saw a few minutes ago was just my normal routine. I'm still kind of getting in the swing of things and seeing what I like and what I don't like. But generally speaking, I always make a cup of coffee, make sure I have some water. I try to get some walking in beforehand since I'm going to be sitting for a while. Then I'll pull a tarot card just to get the general like mood of the day going. And I usually don't do this, but I brought in some of my crystals for some creativity boosts, which you saw. I brought in quite a bit actually. So hopefully they give me their little witchy powers and I can finish NaNoWriMo off strong. Circling back, because Preptober ended up going so poorly, and I did do some work, obviously. I had about 4 different ideas I was combing through, which is pretty interesting because I have a ton of different ideas, but they're all very ambiguous. Like I have a folder in the Notion app, and it's just book ideas, but they're all just one line. And there's no outline, there's no premise really, there's just vibes. It's just like a fantasy book dealing with time. Like, what does that even mean? Anyways, so I kind of had to like comb through these random little one-liners and figure out what I was kind of in the mood to write, and I was super in like a spooky mood. So I ended up picking a paranormal romance fantasy thing. I'm still working out whether it's going to be like an urban fantasy or if it's just going to be fantasy, which is pretty interesting because I was working on a fantasy series with time magic all of 2020, and then I realized I was in over my head, so I was like, okay, let me pull back and work on like a contemporary. And my simple contemporary turned out to be a very convoluted like 6-book series, and there's a lot of like Easter eggs and plot points and things going on, and it ended up being a lot more than I anticipated. So I put that one on the hold in September to try and just have some fun for Nano. But I went back to another fantasy book, which is wild because I feel like I haven't read a lot of fantasy this year. I've been more so in a contemporary mood, which is wild. But yeah, we're just diving into some fantasy again. And this one's about demons and revenge and witches. lots of death, which is a weird thing to say, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. The first chapter is written in the male main character's point of view. It's a dual POV. And it's kind of fun and wild getting into his head. He's very different than any other male man character I've ever written. He's kind of arrogant and theatrical, high maintenance, very murderous. He's got this like juxtaposition where he's both absolutely terrifying but also kind of a cinnamon roll. So it's kind of fun to play off of. He's pretty funny, and I like that. I really want a funny male main character, so I'm having fun. I feel like it's kind of scary writing a funny protagonist, because what if they're not actually funny? Like, what if the jokes don't actually land? So yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm doing the first sprint of the day, and I was having a lot of fun. I actually got more words in than I was expecting. I was pleasantly surprised because I haven't actually wrote anything since probably the beginning of September. Wow, saying that is wild. Oh man, actually, when I think about it, today went pretty well, all things considered, because I have a very loose outline and I kind of just fumbled my way through that, honestly. Wow, go me, pat on the back. The first sprint wasn't amazing, but it was 15 minutes, 570 words. I'll take it. I am not going to complain. And then I went into a little break. And look at my hair. I had such a good hair day. I was actually really happy by that.
Hi, buddy.
Every single conversation is like conversations that happen in real life. There's a point, there is a focal point to that conversation and to the dialogue.
I'm back. I figured I would talk to you guys a little bit more during this last sprint of the day. I went in today just not focusing on perfectionism, but just showing up. And I think that is such an important thing to note. I think that was a lot of the reason why I was effortlessly successful today, because I have this huge issue where if it's not perfect, then I don't put it out. If it's not perfect, then I want nothing to do with it. I'm a control freak through and through. It's my Virgo moon, what can I say? I just wanted to have a good time, breathe, have fun, find joy. I think that's so important. I get so caught up into my head about wanting things a specific way. And if you can hear rustling, my kitten Juniper that is in the background playing with what I think is a wrapper, which is awesome. Love that. But I just wanted to have fun, have joy, and just, I don't know. Sure, Nano's supposed to be productive and get you towards your goals, but what's the point in doing any of this if you're not enjoying the process? I don't want to enjoy a 50,000 word mark or a finish line. I want to enjoy the entire process. And that's something I forget in all aspects of my life. So I really wanted to just focus on that today and not overwhelm myself physically or mentally. And I also just kind of took my time. I didn't go into the mindset where I have to sit down and write for 3 hours. I have to complete this. I have to. I didn't go through the day with that mindset. Kind of just took my time. I didn't stress myself out. I didn't have any deadlines in mind. I just wrote when I wanted to write. I took a break when I needed a break. I just walk to clear my head. And, I think another thing that really worked was I started the day, for lack of better words, kind of like a little like ritual almost, or a meditation without meditating. I cleaned up my space. I had a whole, like, a series of things that I did beforehand. And I noticed that I have way better creative days. And I just take the time to set the mood, put on some classical music or whatever playlist I want to listen to, light a candle, just get the day going in a positive, calm way, instead of just like rushing and being aggravated that like my videos aren't exporting, or I need to like format my SSD cards, my tripod's not set up in the perfect way. And it's easy to get overwhelmed, I think, me specifically. But I just kind of reminded myself, like, this is supposed to be a calm and peaceful environment. And that really helped me today. And that sounds so obvious, but I think I get into my head too often, and I'm rushing and I'm frantic, and I have this very, like, anxious energy. And I'm not stopping to realize, like, you just slow down. Like, take the extra 5 seconds to breathe. Everything is okay. I find myself rushing through everything in life. Like, I treat everything like a race. It's wild. Like, I'll go out and do the dishes, and I'll be like, let me get the dishes done in like 5 seconds. And I'm like rushing through them, and it's always just this frantic, anxious energy. It's so wild. I don't know why I do it. It's a weird habit that I have. And yeah, I finished 1,800 words, 1,823. This is me journaling my day, like I was mentioning earlier. There's my little sprints, and then I kind of wrote my feelings. And then I ended the day kind of searching through Pinterest for mood boards. I ran out of printer ink, so I couldn't make a little physical mood board, which I really wanted to do. So I'm going to order some printer ink and then print out some just like little pictures to kind of get into the vibe and have it sitting at my desk. I can do that with you guys when it arrives, and then I can go through that with you. But yeah, I was just kind of lost on Pinterest, as one usually is. I was just kind of doing my thing. That's all I have to really report for today. I'm really excited, actually. I can't wait for day 2, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.